So I made the vise, obviously. So I'm going to get on with the important stuff, and then you can skip through the chapters. First important thing, this is a threaded rod, and it is only M10. This is the biggest I could get my hands on. If you are going to build this, make sure you get bigger than this. I think in time it will thread itself. Second concern is the pegs themselves. They are compressing quite a lot. Well, I say quite a lot, I'm actually exaggerating there. There's a little bit of compression, so they will only compress so much, and then they'll stay as they are, or they'll snap. One of the two. So I would highly recommend that you use something harder than oak. Use oak pegs, maybe some ash or beech, something like that. What worked really well was my hold fast. I actually put my hold fast in there, just let the head sit over here. That worked really well. The only problem with that, or at least for me, is that not all my holes are 100% square. So I can actually access all the holes, but the furthest one in the middle, down the bottom of the bench, I have actually got to use a tapered peg, so I can't actually use the hold fast on all of them. That's because some of my dog holes are a bit cockeyed. So if you're building the bench, hopefully you haven't built it yet and you're going to build it, make sure your holes are properly like in line, i.e. 90 degrees, because some of mine aren't. It's actually not too bad. It can actually get quite a good grip. As I said before, this can be kind of located like all the way around the bench, so I'm actually going to put a bit of a snippet up, maybe over here somewhere, demonstrating the high speed, and I actually did demonstrate where it can go. One thing I may add, I did mention this at the end of the video, I may actually add a little dowel that goes just at the end of the handle, maybe only on one side, and that's just so it enables us to get a hold of it, and I'm going to be able to wind the screw up or down, or the threaded rod that is, up and down quickly, because it can be a bit fiddly doing it like this. I am also doing a wedge version. Originally I was going to do a wedge version, but I decided against it and done the threaded rod instead. But I did have a little bit of interest, and I thought it would be interesting to see how well a wedge one would work, basically. So I think I am going to build it. I'm starting to build it now, as you can see. So I think I'll do like a bit of an update video. I'm not going to show the build, because the build's going to be pretty much the same as this, other than it's not going to have the screw portion. It's just going to have a couple of 6-degree slopes going the opposite way to house the wedges, whichever way you orientate the vise. It is a bit chunky. You probably could slimline it down a little bit, but it is what it is, and it's very forgiving when you're building it. There's like sections of this aren't square, sections it's not really square. A lot of it, as I said, is very forgiving, and for what it is, it works really well. So here's the video, and here's how I built it. Okay, so today I'm going to try and make a vise, a removable vise, obviously for the SAWHORSE workbench, and I'm actually going to try and make it with the scraps. These scraps were off the SAWHORSE A-frame, so these are 1 inch thick. So I'm going to glue 2 sections of these together. I have actually got to cut another section, and then the 2 sections that are going to sandwich in between the bench itself. I'm going to try and get this done quickly because it looks like it's going to really rain a lot. Oops. Okay, so I've got all them bits of plywood cut, and the idea is that we've got these 2 sections, plus the other section I've just cut, and those are the same thickness as the bench top. So I'm going to get these all lined up, and pretty much that's going to sandwich on. So the idea being, let's see if we can do it. It's going to go on like so, and obviously there's going to be a cutout section here, so you're going to be able to push it further along and basically, you know, clamp things basically. So what I have opted to do, I'm going to actually apply the glue to the middle section first, and I'm going to screw these into place rather than clamp them. And the reason why I'm doing this, and I'm not gluing it all together as once, this is going to allow us to actually get this surface nice and flat and square, which obviously I wanted to do because I wanted it to be a good mate against the edge of the bench, which I know is square. I've marked out where these screws are just as a reference, so I don't actually screw into the screws, because I am actually going to glue and screw this down. You could just clamp it and wait for it to dry, but I'm impatient and I don't want to wait, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, just to show you, I just done some simple lines. That's just to kind of make the screws look a little bit neater. I also drew a line across here, and I'm actually going to trim this, and obviously the bolt is actually going to go through here. I've marked out for the section I'm going to be cutting out, so obviously it's this big section here. Now I'm just going to trim everything up, make everything look nice and neat. I'm just going to smarten this up a little bit. It's going to be easier for us to use the plane before I take out this square section. So I'm going to neaten this edge up, do the same on the other side, and then I'm going to cut the square out. Okay, so now I've got into place. I'm just going to trace these lines. These are the marks, which are 2 inches in from the edge of the bench, and these were all for the dog holes. So I'm going to get either end, I'm going to square them up and use a straight line to make a line across here, just in case anything's out of square on here. Okay, so I marked out for the top hole. I'm only going to drill the top hole. This is just a bit off cut, same thickness as the bench. I'm going to stick this in and it's going to stop blowout on the inside. Oh, would you look at that? Cool. Very, very cool. I'm a little bit concerned that there's not enough material where the hole is. Obviously, when the force is applied, it's going to be pushing, so everything's going to be on the pin. So as I said, I'm a little bit concerned about that. So what I've decided to do is to glue this little extra piece on. I'm going to apply the glue, clamp it. I'm going to turn it around, and then I'm going to drill through, and this should pretty much guarantee a nice straight hole for us. Once that side's done, I'm going to do the same to this side. While I wait for these to dry, I'm going to mark out for the threaded rod and drill the hole for that. I've marked out for this, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing as what I've done with the bench. Top, I'm going to drill from one side and then drill from the other side. Hopefully that should give us quite a half decent line up. While I've got it here, I'm actually going to just draw the outline of the nuts, because I'm going to recess these in and I'm going to glue them into place. I housed these bolts in. I've let the glue dry. For anyone that's interested, I use that stuff. I've never used this before. Anything like this I normally use epoxy, but since I had this, I haven't used it, I thought I'd use it. Obviously I've done that on both sides, so at this point I'm just gonna neaten it up, make it look a little bit more presentable, round some of these corners off, give it a little bit of a sand and so on. I've got the threaded rod in place. I'm not too particularly happy with this threaded rod because it's only an M10. I did try to get an M12 or bigger and I couldn't. If you're building this, I'd highly recommend you get something as thick as you can. As I said, I'm really not too happy with this, but I'm going to give it a go. So I've got that pretty much touching the bench, the threaded rod that is. I've got me bolt on. I'm going to put what's going to become my handle on, and I'm going to allow a little bit extra. There is going to actually be extra on this side because there is going to be like a foot I'm going to add, so that's ample. I've just drilled these, obviously, and cut them out. So the idea with this is that I'm just using a 5p piece. I'm putting a 5p piece in there, and obviously, oops, and this can swivel, kind of, and it's got a little bit of place. So once this is in here, and we get this on here like so, there's actually still a little bit of movement, and that's just so that if the workpiece, when we're clamping it, if it's not like 100% square, it might be rough material, it might not be square, so that allows for that. That is a locking nut, so put the locking nut on, use some glue, some type of lock glue. Oh, nearly forgot. The camera decided to run out of power, so off camera I obviously put the handle on. There is a locking nut there. I did recess a nut in, that's glued into place. I did then add a washer and then a locking nut, so that's pretty much not going anywhere. What I am going to do now, I'm going to neaten this up a little bit. It doesn't look very nice, so I'm gonna actually clamp this into place. and I'm gonna kind of make a bit of a hexagon, I think. That's the vise done pretty much. It is very forgiving, so don't be, if you're a beginner, don't be scared to build this. As I said, it's very forgiving. I made plenty of mistakes, and I can see, just by looking down at it now, I can see plenty of mistakes. But as I said before, you really want to be looking at something bigger than an M10 threaded rod. I'm really not happy with this, but this is all I could get. It is actually holding up very well, and it is, the clamping pressure is like stupidly good. I wasn't really expecting the clamping pressure to be so good. The only other thing I might add, which I might do it in the coming days, is just a little bit of dowel so I can grab a hold of. But as I said, that's it, pretty much finished now. If you've got any ideas to make the design better, leave a comment. Also, I haven't done any plans for these, but if I get enough interest, I will make some simple plans. I mean, it's pretty simple and self-explanatory, but if I do get enough people asking, I will do some free plans. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and until the next time, I shall see you guys later.